Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Tina and I are here to talk to you about more golf. And today we want to talk to you about, have you ever noticed when you are walking playing golf and the front nine is a piece of cake, but when you hit the back nine, especially about hole 14 or 15, that's when your body is just like, oh my gosh, now I'm really getting tired. Your swing starts to tighten up, your energy starts to fade, your focus starts to slip. And we want to be able to change that because honestly, for golfers over 50, we can actually make this better. We don't have to be losing the distance. We don't have to be getting tired. And we can train for this just like we train for our swing speed. So, hey, everybody, I am Janis Thornton with JT Fitness and Golf. I have an online personal training business, and I love helping golfers over 50 elevate their golf game, improve their swing speed, improve their stamina, strength, all of that, your mobility, so that way you can play golf well into your 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. And we have Tina. Oh my gosh, we love Tina because Tina gets to help us with lots of good nutritional stuff. Tina, take it away.
Yeah. Hi, guys. This is Tina Hong, Executive Wellness and Mindset Coach, coming to you from Kiowa, South Carolina currently. I have been coaching for almost 15 years with midlife women and men on their metabolic weight loss goals and improving their relationship with food. And what I discovered was reprogramming our mindset and our habits can be a total game changer. So I'm bringing this to golf. I'm bringing this because I'm passionate about golf and how we can better train for endurance. And that's what our topic is today. We have golf endurance for the long game. So Janis is going to go into the fitness and the body aspect of it. And I'm going to get into nutrition and the why and the how and the what. And we're going to wrap this up in about 30 minutes. Does that
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, that'll be perfect. So I think a lot of people, when they think of cardiovascular endurance or golf endurance, is they think, I need to do more cardio. I should be walking more. I need to make sure. And yes, when you walk a typical golf course, most golf courses are a minimum of 5 miles, but a lot of them, at least the one that I play in Cave Creek, Arizona, ours is over 7 miles long when you are walking. So, which gives you a great walk for the day. However, when 14 and 15 hit, yes, you can be getting fatigued. Now, the deal is though, it's not necessarily doing more cardio. It's also about do you have strong glutes when you are exercising? Are you doing strength training and making your muscles nice and strong for this nice long walk that you have? Even though cardiovascular wise, you're not having to go consistently, constant for 4 straight hours. You walk, you pause, you hit, but those swings, those golf swings take energy for you to be able to do. And as you get tired, your golf swing does become affected as well. But when you definitely have more strength in your body, when you have more mobility in your body, you're going to be able to last longer during your round of golf. Because what's the first thing that goes when you start getting tired is your golf swing. And when we can strengthen your core, strengthen your full body, give yourself good mobility, that changes. You're going to be able to last a lot longer, do the whole 18 holes, and really think nothing of it.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. And nutrition is an important part of that, is in terms of fueling up prior to the game as well as post to the game, because we need the nutrition to build the tissue for building muscle tissue and also sustaining our mental focus throughout the game. Janis, you want me to run through some of the nutrition tips that I have for everyone?
Sure, because I know like for myself, if I haven't been drinking enough water, and I always put electrolytes in my water, whether it's summer or winter, I'm always drinking electrolytes when I play. But I know if I might if I'm not drinking enough water, I get fatigued a lot faster. So I think
Mhm.
kinda talk about hydration a little bit with people and why
Yeah.
it's so important.
Yeah, hydration is really key, and it's not just about taking sips right before you swing. It happens way before that. So even the night before a tournament or a golf game, you should be hydrating going into the game, into the round. So adding some electrolytes that are sugar free can help you even the day before. And it's not just about rushing, because basically it takes 20 minutes for us to really process any nutrition or food or liquids, you know, to actually penetrate our brains and our bodies and our cellular makeup. So hydration the day before, starting the day before, is really key. And that morning, as soon as you wake up,
Mhm.
before that round, super hydrate. You really want to super hydrate, because most people underhydrate, and you don't even realize how underhydrated you are. On the
They
nutrition,
want their coffee, Tina. They want the coffee first
I
thing in the
know,
morning
right?
to get themselves
That's
going.
true, and what I say to my clients is, have a big glass of water next to your bed, and as soon as you wake up, drink that whole glass of water down. That's 16 ounces, 12 to 16 ounces of water down first thing in the morning. It's
Mhm.
flushing everything out. It's super hydrating. You went to sleep for 7 or 8 hours, and you haven't had a sip of water. You're dehydrated. Your body has been working overnight while you're sleeping. The other thing is, it's nutrition is about not just the moment you arrive. Decide before you arrive. So hydration way before, but also think about balancing your blood sugar, because most people think, oh, I need a quick energy boost, here and there, and you eat your granola bar that's laden with sugar and Snickers bars or whatever. But really, if you want to sustain your energy over 4+ hours in a round, or whether you're playing 18 or 19 holes, it's not just what you're eating, but it's about how you're eating. You want to balance your blood sugar. So basically, even the day before, you don't want to have sugar highs and super highs and super lows. You want to have a steady blood sugar level. How do you know that? If you don't have a CGM, or a continuous glucose monitor, you don't even need one. But basically, you want to protein up even the day before and have healthy fats like avocados, a little bit of olive oil with your salads, olives and seeds. Those are the kinds of foods that you should be ramping up, as well as protein. So that morning of your round, having 3 eggs, that's totally fine. One egg is only 6 grams of protein. Having 3 eggs, you could throw some cheese on it, throw some avocado and some tomatoes into it. That's a really healthy breakfast going into the round. It will sustain you for the long term, rather than having a quick muffin, a quick scone, which basically, those refined carbohydrates spike your blood sugar super high, and then you will find it crash mid-round. So really having, eggs, or even protein, any kind of protein, turkey roll-ups, even leftovers from last night, who cares if it's not breakfast food necessarily, but
Mhm.
before the round, really proteining up and having healthy fats combined with your protein is really key. You won't need to snack during your round if you do that. Um, and so you will go as long as you can, and as over the 4 hours as you go. So if you wanted to bring along snacks in your cart, having healthy sugar-free meat sticks, Those are really great little tune-ups, like during your mid-round, during the turn, where you can quickly have something, a meat stick, a bite of meat stick or something like that. If you want to pack a lunch, having hard-boiled eggs, or having a chicken salad in a cup, you can have that, hold that in your cooler, and that is a great way to sustain your energy. I'm telling you, the first thing you want to go to is your protein up
Mhm.
prior, the day before, and super hydrate, but also even after your round, because basically you just used all your muscles and you're fatigued. You really have broken down some of the muscle tissue. What you want to do is um, basically just this is a terrific conversation. Yay, George is joining us.
Oh, hi, George.
Post round, you really want to protein up as well, because you've just broken down your muscle tissue through all the activity that you just did. Um, and not only maintaining your blood sugar is not only just good for, body fat and maintaining energy, but it's also really good for your brain. Your brain is made of fat. Okay. So
Mhm.
you really need healthy fats for your brain to keep it awake and neutral and sustainable throughout your entire round.
Well,
Um,
Tina, I know I was going to just jump in
yeah,
because I'll say hard-boiled eggs are one of my favorite items to pack into my cart. It's so easy to throw into a Ziploc bag. And then I walk a lot in the winter time, or yeah, winter time, summertime I ride, but
mhm,
I always make sure I have my protein, or like you said, the sugar-free beef sticks,
mhm,
make sure that they're low in sugar because there's some out there that have a ton of sugar in them, but
mhm,
they're just a great thing because it fills me up,
mhm,
gives me the energy that I'm looking for, and I
mhm.
don't get I don't get any kind of crashes during my
Yeah,
round because
yeah,
it's just keeping my energy
yeah.
level way up. I do like to also pack fruit, especially in the summertime,
Mhm,
just because it does give me more hydration, I feel,
mhm,
especially if I'm eating grapes or apples,
mhm,
while I play, because that way I'm also getting something cooler into my
mhm.
body as well, like
Right,
because it's so hot
right.
here in Arizona.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say, if one serving a day of fruit is really key. But basically, I wouldn't. A lot of people go to like M&Ms and Snickers and the candies during their round. I'm saying you really don't want to have super highs and super lows during your rounds, because you're going to get exhausted even more. You're going to get fatigued. And you really want to have sustained energy throughout the entire round. Um, so, just briefly, Janice, can I just go over a couple of things about
Oh, of
energy
course, yeah,
conservation?
absolutely, go for it.
So really, and I'm noticing this more and more, as I'm not really a competitive golfer, but I've recently been, being asked to be a part of tournaments and stuff like that. But energy conservation is really key. You have to be aware of your energy leaks. So it's proactive. It's not reactive. And part of that is mental resilience. And you want to fuel up and physically feel like you're resilient, so that you're climbing hills and you're walking, that you can do it physically. But you also want to focus on the process of energy conservation. And what I mean by that is the mental side of the game. Don't focus just on the results, focus on the process. Focus on your breath, your tempo, and your breath. Focus on taking mental breaks from overthinking. And all of these, overthinking moments and beating yourself up after a bad shot, you're leaking. You're leaking your energy. It takes incredible amount of energy, believe it or not, physiologically, when you start overthinking. And so, in order for you to conserve, you really have to be aware of those energy leaks.
That I
So
just got it because that makes total sense,
yeah.
because I know on days that I'm swinging really well and
Mhm.
playing really well, everything is so easy. But on
Easy.
those days that I'm spraying balls left and right, topping them, whatever. Oh
Mhm.
my God, it does take so much more energy, and I'm exhausted by the end of the round. So
It
yes,
really does.
that is so absolutely.
Absolutely. So, you want to be prepared going into the round, first of
Mhm.
all, nutritionally and physically, like Janice is going to teach you and train you, is just you really want to cover your bases, right? You want to be fit enough to play and prevent
Mhm.
injury. And part of that is also directly tied into what you eat and how you eat.
Mhm.
So, yeah, leaking energy. I just wanted to mention that because I thought about it because, we all have, bad shots once in a while, missed shots. And we can't overthink it because when we're overthinking, we're actually leaking our endurance that we need for the rest of the round. If you had a shitty shot on, hole two, you got 16 more holes to go. You got to really conserve that energy. So just wanted to share that with y'all and just stay in the high vibes mode. And also energy is not just about physical energy, but it's about vibrational energy. It means like, your emotional energy, because when you feel guilt, shame, humiliation, embarrassment, or anger, and let that creep in, that is like squeezing all the resilience and energy conservation that you have in your stores. So stay high vibe, positive thinking or neutral thinking. If you can't stay positive, at least stay neutral. So you are not leaking that energy.
Which that makes total sense because I know one thing, I used to be more of a golfer who would get mad.
Mm,
And now I've just tried to, instead of getting mad, it's like, poop, what a poopy shot. And just try to laugh at it.
mhm.
Because first of all, I'm not a professional golfer.
Right.
I
Mhm.
don't get paid to play.
Right.
So I constantly remind myself of that every time I play because why get mad? I'm not getting paid. Uh,
Mhm.
you're just not.
Mhm.
So, and I get it. I'm a good golfer. I'm a very competitive golfer.
You are.
At the same time, it's just like, again, I still don't get paid to play and I'm going to hit some bad shots and that's okay.
Mm,
And I've just learned over the years, just let it go. My God, you're out there playing golf. I'm outside in the
mhm.
sunshine. I'm playing with my
Mhm.
friends. I'm in Mother Nature. And when you can just learn to make things more happy around you because you get to go play golf, that's when you can keep some of that energy in, which is a good thing. And you're going to end up finishing your round much happier.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying I never finish unhappy. Don't get me wrong. If
Mhm.
I shoot a high score, I am not happy. However, I do get over it quickly. I
Yeah.
just may say poop a lot. And
Yeah.
I literally say poop. I don't say the S word.
Yeah.
I try to say poop to make it more fun because it makes people laugh.
That's good.
And then
Yeah.
it makes you laugh.
Yeah,
So,
I know we are all so hard on ourselves. Really. We are
mhm.
our worst enemy,
Yes,
right?
we are.
But if we just focus on the process leading up to the round, the day before, a couple days before, make sure you're getting good rest. That's really
Yeah,
important. I know when I don't get enough sleep, I play like hell.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
rest and recovery is really, really important, especially after the age of 50.
Mhm,
So it's not just about that moment during the round. It's pre-round. It's your pre-shot routine. It
mhm.
starts like the day or 2 days before in terms of preparing for your rounds.
Yeah, so and that's where the fitness is going to lead into. So let's talk about warm up real quick. Since we're talking pre-shot routine, we're talking about what you do before you even get started.
Mhm.
Make sure that you also are warming up on the driving range before you get started.
Mm,
The golf swing is not a natural body movement.
mm,
And the more that and I'm not saying you have to warm up for an hour, go hit even 15, 20 golf balls, hit a wedge, hit an 8 iron, hit a hybrid or a wood, hit your driver, hit a few of them just to get your body going in fluidity going into your body.
Mm.
So that way you can make some good swings. Plus, I guarantee you, you warm up and get your body moving, you will shave strokes off your score.
Mm.
So the worst thing I've seen, unless I have very few friends who can walk up to the first tee and pipe one down the middle. But those friends of mine that I have, they are plus handicaps.
Mm.
They can do that.
Mhm.
However,
Mhm.
the majority of people that I see and play golf with, no, we're not piping one down the
Mhm.
middle because we're plus
Mhm.
handicaps. So I'll see a lot of people going, oh, I didn't warm up on the range, and then they top their first ball, or they dump one over into the trees or whatever. It's like, well, if you would have hit just a few, do something. But yeah, it's important that you get your kind of, because it allows your brain also to get into gear for playing golf. So that way you're going to be better rested, or you're going to be ready to go play.
Yeah.
But I did want to go over a few exercises today with you, because I want to go over 2 core glute exercises for you, and then 2 mobility exercises for you.
Awesome.
And so like I talked about, when it comes to getting to hole 14, 15, 16, a lot of times our body is pooped. But if we have strong glutes, if we have a strong core, we're going to be able to actually be able to get through 18 holes a lot easier, especially if you're walking. But I even have friends though who, because even when they ride, when they get to the back 9, they get tired because they just don't have the overall strength to be able to do the stuff. So I'm going to move my camera down here.
Nice.
Okay. So this first exercise, I know all of you have actually seen this exercise. You've done this exercise, but I know a lot of people blow it off because they don't think it's that important. But the bird dog is such an important exercise, and when you do this exercise slowly, we work on balance. We work on core strength. And this is an awesome exercise that's going to help power your golf swing. So the one thing with bird dog that I want you to think about is to make sure when you do this, you do it slow and controlled. And also that you have your shoulders are stacked over your wrists, your hips are over your knees, and you have a neutral spine. You don't want this big sag in your low back. We want to have a flat back. So you're going to extend your right arm out, your left leg back. You also want your toes pointed straight down when you do this, because now we can engage our core when we come back. You want to hold out there as you extend out. A lot of people just do this and they're thinking, okay, I'm doing this. But when you actually draw in your abs and you extend out, you are now really engaging your core and coming back in. You also allow, when you're extended out, that you can squeeze that glute as you extend out and come back in. Now, the other thing is, make sure when you're pressing your foot out, a lot of people will have a tendency to turn their toes out instead of keeping their foot straight down. And what happens is when you turn your foot out, your hip out, you end up disengaging your core. So now all of a sudden your abs stop working. But when you keep that toe straight down to the floor, now you really engage that core more. So this next exercise is probably one of the most powerful exercises. I love the glute bridge. And with this, you just want to make sure that you have your feet, your heels close to your butt. A lot of people put their feet up here. And what happens is now you start targeting your hamstrings instead. But when you bring those heels really close to your glute, now you can really activate your glutes. So you want to make sure you flatten your low back to the floor first, then grip your glutes. Now raise your hips up toward the ceiling. We want to get a nice straight line from your knees to your neck. And then you hold and then slowly lower yourself down. But make sure again that you press that low back into the floor, squeeze your glutes first, then lift. because now we're activating those glutes when we lift up versus a lot of people will just start lifting and they don't even activate anything in their glutes, and then they don't end up working their glutes. They end up working their hamstrings instead, and they're like, oh, now I feel it all in my hamstrings instead. Well, that means your glutes are sleepy, they're not working, and we want to keep your glutes working. So now we want to get into some out hip mobility. We need to be able to make sure we have good hip mobility in our golf swing. I love windshield wipers, dropping your hips side to side. I love this exercise because, especially if you sit a lot during the day, this is a great way to open up your hips. And it's gentle. You can go side to side, slow and controlled. Make sure if you're leaning back on your hands, that you don't sink into your shoulders, that you lift out of your shoulders and just go side to side, nice and slow and controlled. The great thing about this is you can do this watching TV. So why not just do this watching TV, side to side with your hips. And then another great stretch I really like, this is just a nice stretch, is the pigeon stretch. You're gonna bend that front leg forward and then extend your other leg behind you.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
And then I love just to rock. I love listening to my body rock side to side when you're in this. Don't just sit there. You can go down onto your elbows if you want to. You can come back up. And then I like to rock side to side because I like getting into my hips. And I just feel like if I just gently rock back and forth, I get this nice, beautiful stretch. And it just makes my hips feel really good with that. So I just wanted to show those 4 exercises for
Love
today.
It, Jana.
For everybody.
So good.
So, yeah. Oh, that made my hips feel good.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to do that on the range before your round. You know, get down on the ground. You know, it's no big deal. Like if you didn't have time to do it at home, get down on the range. Just take 5 minutes to do that, right?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, stretching on the range. There's so many friends of mine that we all stretch on the range for, even if it's just a couple of minutes. Do something where you're stretching out your shoulders, stretch out your legs. Everyone's going to be impressed that you're actually doing it. And they're like, man, I should be doing that too. It's not oh, look at that goofball stretching. It's, oh man, I should really be stretching too. It's really what they're thinking.
Exactly.
So don't think people are making fun, because they're actually not. They're jealous.
Yeah, exactly.
Of how awesome you are with your golf game.
I think what we talked about today, which is so important, is really, it's not just about arriving. It happens, all the work, all the prep is beforehand. And having a really strong structural foundation, body, mind, and nutrition, having that foundation is really key. And it takes time to build that foundation and the practice around that, because we all have busy lives. We all have busy interference with family, work, all kinds of stuff coming into play on a day-to-day basis. But you really want to enjoy your round and not get injured, and you want to have sustained endurance. So I think what Janis and I are really talking about, preparing in advance and having a body, mind, and nutrition.
So Tina, let's jump into our 6-week course that we are starting in mid-January. Why don't you tell them a little bit about that?
Yep. There's a little bit of interference when I don't know what you're doing, moving things around. But yep. It's really loud.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. So yeah, we're coming up with a winter reset. And we thought, Janis and I were talking about it. Wouldn't it be so great if we had a 6-week challenge, a 6-week kind of reboot where we can get together on a weekly basis and bring accountability and training. So we don't really, most people don't know how to train for better golf or enduring golf, endurance golf. We really want to do this in the off season or when you're golfing less, maybe. But winter reset is something that we're talking about for the smart golfer, and we'd like to cover strength training exercises. I don't know, Janis, but basically on a weekly basis, you be with us. Doing a live training. So you have the accountability for 6 weeks to get into practice. So you could do it on your own eventually.
Absolutely. So we will have more information down the road, but be on the lookout soon in the next few weeks for being able to get signed up, get registered, and then we'll have an early bird special pricing. And then we'll be starting mid-January. So it'll be a lot of fun.
That's right. And believe it or not, when you actually balance your blood sugar, and I teach you how to do this in terms of nutrition, getting prepared before golf, and it's really for life about, maintaining endurance and energy for life. You will lose weight over the 6 weeks. So be prepared for that if you're interested, and definitely don't miss out and be ready to sign up.
Perfect. Well, everyone, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.
Have an amazing rest of the week. See you soon.